In this video, I'm going to share some things I learned about the concept and idea of perfection and how it can apply in your work in real life from my very first hero in the kitchen, Chef Thomas Keller. So, something about the lessons that I'm learning. Let's talk about the chef. If you're not a chef, maybe you don't know who he is. He is one of the most awarded American chefs on the planet. He has a famous restaurant in Yountville, California, or had, and that's the French Laundry. He also had the restaurant in New York called Per Se. There's also Bouchon, and he is a Michelin star awarded chef. He's the hero of many chefs that are my age. I went to school in 1999 in California. The very first tasting menu fine dining book that really grabbed at my heart was the cookbook called The French Laundry, and that's his book. And I remember back then, it was 1999, I would go to Borders, which was a bookstore. There were actually stores filled with books. It was like 4 stories high, and people would just hang out there. You couldn't drink coffee for obvious reasons, but you could just browse all the books and eventually buy it. And the French Laundry book was just one of my favorites. Fast forward later on, I was able to eat that French Laundry on a Saturday and per se on a Monday, within the same 3 days. I went to California once, trying to get reservations, but we couldn't. So what I did was I tried to send some snacks, Filipino snacks, because I'm from the Philippines, to Per Se and to French Laundry. I wrote them a letter about how I admired Chef Thomas Keller's work, and no reply for the longest time. And then, as it turned out, later on, they did get the email, they did eat the snacks, and we got a surprise email that we got French Laundry on a Saturday, Per Se on a Monday. And for me, as a young chef, I believe I was like 27 at the time, that was the most exciting event to happen in my life. Prior to that, I met Chef Thomas Keller in the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival. Amazing guy, just inspiring. So that's it about him. And about me, Chef Thomas Keller helped me. I was able to win some restaurant awards, best restaurant in my city for a couple of years, best chef, best restaurateur for a couple of years. Was able to present in Madrid Fusion. That was great. We began the storytelling trend in 2014, where food had a narrative. All well and good. But this one is about perfection. And my channel is about growing career and business. So it's not really about food, although food is what I do. I'm in culinary education, premium, and I'm also in catering and events, premium. I've hence resigned from the, or retired from the fine dining a la carte retail space because because of leverage. So you can watch the Alex Hermosi video on leverage because I didn't want to trade my time for revenue anymore. I wanted rather to build value and be able to build it again and again. So you can watch that in the Alex Hermosi video. But this one is all about perfection. And I believe Thomas Keller said it's not about perfection per se, but the joy of striving for perfection. It's the act of chasing perfection. And so, if you can find joy in trying to be as excellent as you can, this is my number one takeaway from Thomas Keller. You find joy from being as excellent as you can so that you can deliver the highest value that you can to your customer and your target audience. This to him was his meaning of perfection. And it's nice because it takes a lot of pressure off our shoulders. Sometimes we want to be perfect. We think that perfection is an attainable thing, uh, and a sustainable thing that we can bring in and day out. But life happens, people happen, materials happen. Perfection is the dream, but the outcome is rarely consistently perfection. But the striving of excellence is what I ultimately Get out of it. Chef Thomas Keller said, the joy in the striving to seek perfection. And I think that's very important. If you're looking to build anything that lasts, a career, a business, a brand, a product, you must really enjoy the daily commitment, the daily diligence, the daily suffering, the daily, even if you're in pain, you're going to keep doing it. You have to enjoy that daily process of striving for excellence. Because when you're ever able to strive for excellence, and later on you see that excellence is received by your customers, not only is it a wonderful feeling, which it is, it's also a wonderful producer of value. And value in business ultimately translates into sales. And the higher the value, the better the value, the more repeat the business, the higher the transactions. If you can give excellent value to your customers and you can find joy in the commitment, the dedication, the suffering, the challenges, the ups and the downs, if you can find joy in that, imagine what great product, what great brand, what great service you can build. And so, obviously, I'm not talking about just the kitchen anymore. This channel is not about cooking, but a lot of my inspiration comes from Chef Thomas Keller. He also says that cooking is a lot of little things done well. And isn't that just what life is like all about? So sometimes when we try to fill our plate so much, variety is not perfection, variety is distraction. It's a focused commitment to a little few, and that few is so powerful, it can create change, it can create progress, it can create delight and excellence in the lives of other people. That is excellence. That is strategy. That is ultimately killer focus. And so, thank you so much, Chef Thomas Keller, for sharing your ideas of perfectionism. So, when it comes to me, I seek perfectionism or the joy of excellence, the joy of endurance when I make these wonderful programs for our students. That's the videos you see here. Those are all my students. So we teach culinary arts. We also teach business and leadership, entrepreneurship. Hopefully, one day we'll teach technology and art as well, music, things that make us human. So that's my dream, is really to build in education. Cooking has become my passion, but it's not the main business anymore. I wanted to build things at scale, and my kind of cooking doesn't. So I hope you like this. Go search Thomas Keller.